Put some shoes on. Put my watch on. Short-ish live stream. Want to get out in that light. It's not here yet, but it's on its way. Hey, sissy. I just need a moment. So, tomorrow, James Twyman is coming up. Hey, Coco. You know, I was reading his book that we're going to discuss tomorrow. Sorry, guys. I don't know, maybe I love you. He talks about that formula for, three-part formula for depolarizing our own mind. Of course, we're polarized. You would not be in this world. You would not have an ego if you were not polarized to an extent, but we can depolarize. We can be open. We can open ourselves. I don't know, maybe I love you. Now, he talks about that last part we say to ourselves. Not everyone is ready to hear, I love you. We don't say it. We say it in a very universal, I love you. Hey, Allie. How are you, my friend? Nice to see you. Good morning, Yogi. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, my friend. So, imagine depolarizing. Any discussion, any argument, any confrontation, verbally, of course. If we had that willingness to say, I don't know. We're never going to have all the information available, right? So we can honestly say, I don't know. I might be right, but I don't know. You might be right, but we don't know. That's where the maybe comes in. What's up there, Kenworth? You make a very good microwave, by the way. I have a Kenworth microwave. Congratulations. Ali says, I'm going well. Thank you. How are you going, Yogi? I'm going pretty well. I'm talking about the guests that we have up tomorrow. Says you. Hey, Sniper. So that maybe. Sniper likened the maybe to, what was your exact expression? Catalyst, the catalyst for change, the catalyst that allows change. Nothing changes until we allow a bit of uncertainty, right? Maybe. Maybe my path is for you. Maybe not. Maybe your path is for me. Maybe not. Maybe your thought is right. Maybe. Maybe it isn't. In Zen Buddhism, particularly Korean Zen, they tell you to start with a don't know mind, because that's where you're going to end up. The whole aspect of Zen is releasing the grip of certainty upon your life. When you go through life certain of everything, it's very fragile, because life is never going to totally conform. Let's see. Hey, Com. That's okay. There wants to be one. That's fine. Life is always going to break that certainty. So we may as well get there now, right? Why have ourselves be broken? Although, there's something that is said for that brokenness. That's what I wrote about this morning. We're going to dive in there. What I wrote was, our innocence shown. Looking more readily towards the Holy Spirit now, the very symbol of kindness within my mind. From this vantage, it's the struggle of others, from everyone I meet really, that breaks my heart wide open. My own struggle is often equals theirs. Our suffering is matched in similar loss. We share the same sorrow of our mistaken beliefs of shame and grievances long held. But the Holy Spirit doesn't see any of this. There's no recognition of brokenness or sorrow. Only our innocence and wholeness is seen through these loving eyes. This seems to be the gift of duality. The contrast of what ego shows and my choice to see the reality of love. It's not bypassing, but a workable solution to life. My heart breaks open for light to be shown, and it's this I wish to give the world. That's the path of kindness. The path of kindness doesn't bypass, doesn't make you a doormat. It doesn't say, hey, take advantage of me. It says that what I see is my own innocence matched within yours. It's the essence of Namaste. The light, the divinity within me recognizes and salutes the divinity within you. And it's that I choose to see. There's a great, great gift that's given with that, and the gift is discernment. It says, yes, on this level of form, there's the potentiality for hurtfulness. There's a potentiality that I could be wounded. But with discernment, I'm given that intuition. I step out of the way. Does that make sense? People often think that, but if I'm kind or if I forgive, I'm letting someone off the hook. It's not about even being on the hook. It's recognizing that this person was never really on the hook to begin with. You're not letting anyone off. You're seeing who they are. And you're recognizing that on the level of body, on the level of behavior, some changes need to be made. We need to help them. Sometimes the best help for a criminal, right? Someone who commits crimes on a habitual basis, is forgiveness. And it's also rehabilitation. How long rehabilitation takes? I don't know. As long as it takes. So that might be a prison system. Imagine if we thought of prison as less as punishment and more as helping, more as aiding for as long as it takes. They're going to be locked up anyway, right? If you lock up someone for 20 years to punish them, you could also lock someone up for 20 years to rehabilitate someone. A true rehabilitation center. I have known people, went to school with people, I've hung out with people who were pretty kind, pretty fun-loving, but they got in trouble. Often found themselves in trouble. And I was only one step away from getting in that same kind of trouble. I don't know whatever kept me from, stepping over that. And they went to prison. And when they came out, they were different people. Most of them. They were hardened. They were more apt to be violent. It's a shame. Because they made a mistake. And yes, they deserved to have consequences for their mistake, but they did not deserve to be turned in, to be criminalized, turned into a criminal because of a mistake. I hope that makes sense. Here I am with one shoe on and one shoe off. Eric, have you heard of The Great Story in Two Parts, the final question and the final answer? I have not. Are we going to talk about that soon? Hey, Daniel. Hey, Anna. Anna, how are you? How was your weekend, Anna? Let's see. Avoid Human Society says, what's the discussion here? Just curious. It's sort of wide-ranging. We never stay on point. Right now, it's about me having one shoe on and one shoe off. We were talking about light. We were talking about criminalization. We were talking about helping people. Ultimately, it always turns to kindness, forgiveness, and unconditional love being the three things that I mainly want to talk about. Because it's the main things that I want to demonstrate in my life in every possibility. Yeah, just a general chat. I mean, we have specific themes. In the morning, I generally talk about A Course in Miracles. hence the title, talking about A Course in Miracles. I was thinking this morning, hey band, let's see, her landscaping. Thanks for the rainbows. Hey, thank you, my friend. I appreciate the like and the sub. Hey, Falcon. Let's see. Anna says, I'm okay. Thank you, Yogi. My weekend was fine. Thank you. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. Hey, Ranger. I'm from the United States on the East Coast. Hey, Susanna. Yeah, I was thinking this morning, you know, obviously, A Course in Miracles is not for everyone. I find it actually a more stringent and a much, much harder path to follow than Zen. And Zen is considered a pretty extreme discipline for so many. When you're truly, truly practicing Zen, it's a path of very stark meditation, no compromise whatsoever. This is why, you know, in the ancient tradition, the Zen master with his Zen stick walking up and down the meditation aisle, and if he noticed your mind was wandering, and how did he notice? Because he's a Zen master, that's how. You would get hit with the Zen stick. That's pretty strident, right? But hey, Jess, how are you? I think Course in Miracles is tougher. It is not for everyone because it is asking you to forgive what the ego feels is unforgivable. But it is maybe, I think, the quickest path to self-realization. It is the quickest means of true freedom. The only true freedom is internal freedom. You could get locked up for whatever reason, right? There could be political unrest and an opposing party could come by and lock you up. We see it here on YouTube all the time. Mentally, emotionally, someone can put you in the prison of your own suffering. Someone can say something mean to you. Someone can threaten you. This is what Carl Jung talked about with projection, that we don't recognize our own darkness, or we don't want to, so we project it outwards upon others. And when we're confronted with it, we run or we lash out instead of integrating it, instead of seeing it and offering that salutation of namaste. I see the darkness, but within that darkness is a glimmer of light, and it's that light that's going to save me. That is also the path of the Course in Miracles, and it's a hard path to follow. We don't want to. We don't want to save ourselves. It's too hard. We don't want to see our own light, because that would mean recognizing the light of someone else. It's too hard. Course in Miracles is too hard for everyone, myself included. But somehow, for some reason, I find myself committed to it. So, here I am. Here I am. I am, hey sir, says our friend, his, her. I am, hey sir. I say hey to everyone. Where are we? Any questions about any of that stuff? I don't often, hey Long John. Hello, my friend. I don't often pause my own self-dialogue to see if anyone has questions. Falcon says, sorry if I missed anyone. You are very loved. Thank you for giving out that love. Jess, how are you? What's new with you, my friend? You are up awful early. So yeah, I don't recommend A Course in Miracles. To anyone. But there are little things that we can take with us Just practice in a little willingness, a little willingness. Can I forgive maybe this small act? Can I forgive this? Just to give myself a break so I don't self-torture myself. Can I be a little kinder? Maybe that's enough. Can I be a little kinder? Is this the kindest thought that I can have about this person? Is this the kindest thought that I could have about this situation? Is this the kindest thought that I could have to myself? I bet you every single one in this live stream today is going to have an unkind thought about themselves. What when you recognize, this is the gift of yoga, is the power of recognition, of being aware. What if you recognized that unkind thought and you simply asked yourself, is this the kindest thought I could have about myself? Let's see, Una says, you suck. I certainly do. I suck at tennis. I suck at basketball. I sucked at baseball, for sure. I sucked at soccer. How many people suck at soccer? I was pretty good at wrestling. I did suck at football. You know, I was good at neighborhood football, but when I got to high school, I just didn't like it enough. I probably could have been okay at it. I didn't want to learn the plays. I just wanted to practice. So I wanted to lift weights. Should I continue the list of things that I suck at? It's a long list. I am pretty good. I'm pretty good with kettlebells. I was pretty good. I was okay with Olympic lifting. Middle of the pack. I was a good ultra runner. I was a very good ultra runner. I wasn't, like winning races, although I have won my age group 24-hour races. I've come in top 10 overall in some 24-hour races just for being stubborn. So I could focus on those things that I suck at. I could focus at the things that other people suck at. Instead, I'd rather celebrate all the stuff that we're good at. I'm very good at being kind. It gets easier and easier the more I practice it. And it's a choice. Thank you so much, Praveen. Praveen has re-upped his welcome to basic support. Man, I appreciate that. I appreciate all the people who wish to just help my channel and help me. My channel is an extension of my life. I show up here to be kind. I show up in life to be kind. What was the last book that I read to be, by the way? I finished this. Oh, man. That's a tough book. You picked a really tough book to read. I have it. I have that on my shelf in the other room. And, I have a hard time diving into the pessimism, although I really like a lot of what he has to say. What was the last book I read? Right now I'm finishing up. I breezed through it the first time, but I'm studying a little harder because he's a guest tomorrow, James Twyman. I should finish it up today. I don't know. Maybe I Love You. I finished again for, I think this was the 4th or 5th time, the entire text of A Course in Miracles, as well as the workbook, and I just dove in again. I finished a book by Kenneth Wapnick. I don't remember the title. I got it written down. For some reason, I keep a list of the books that I've read. So what do you think of the book? Avoiding? How are you, Praveen? Excuse me. Praveen says, sir, today I will reach 700,000 subs. Did I get that right? Or was that 70,000? Is that 700,000? I'm no good with numbers. Chef Roasting and Gag. My friend, how are you? She cooks, she roasts. I'm finally up early enough. Good morning, guys. I always feel like a celebrity enters the room when She Cooks, She Roasts comes in. She truly, in my opinion, she truly is a celebrity. She might be the best YouTuber of all the YouTubers. Focus says, be as kind and loving as you can, I say, but keep strapped at the same time. Don't know about the second part, but you know what? We all have to find what works for us. Feed says, shared you, sir, pictures of All Souls Day pics. I'd love to share with you. I appreciate you sharing with me. I will dive in this morning. We got some love from Shakuk Sharos. Thank you, my friend. What brings you up so early in the morning? Says, many people mistake kindness for weakness. Yeah, many people do. The question is, what do you do? It's never about the other. Ultimately, as Ramana Maharshi said, there are no others. There's no such thing as not being too kind. Be as kind as you're capable of being in every given moment. That's where your true strength lies. If you're concerned about what others think and what others do, that's not strength. That means you've just given your power away to someone else. Now they have the power to manipulate you. Now they have the power to make you do things. Now they have the power to make you think and to make you behave. Is that strength or is it weakness? Strength is in knowing where your heart is and allowing it to be without concern what others are going to think. Trust me. As far as what other thinks, I've had to make my own tough choices, going with my heart and where I'm led, and losing those I care for and putting myself in precarious positions, or listening to my inner guidance, which tells me to be kind unconditionally. Ultimately, if you're truly committed to your path, you make those tough choices and you send everyone love, all on their own path. 70,000. That's a lot of thousands, man. Well done, Praveen. So as long as we have those conditions, don't be too kind. Be kind and carry a weapon. Be kind and do this. We're not really committed to kindness. We're committed to our conditions. And we'll be kind up until this point. When you're truly, truly practicing kindness, you're guided. It means you don't find yourself in those precarious positions as often. You're steered away from them. Protected. This is the value in yoga. It's called ahimsa, non-harmfulness. When you're truly, truly steeped in the power of non-harm, and it takes a lot to get there, and some of the great masters weren't there. Gandhi, right? Although at a certain point you have to wonder, what did they choose? Did they choose to meet the end that they met for the greater good? I don't know. Not being a master, so I wouldn't know. Hey, Skeeter. Skeeter, I've been meaning to ask you. I think I asked you the other day, but I didn't see your answer. How's the kayak? Let's see. Alden says, do you believe in Jesus or anything? If not, can I pray for you? You could pray for me either way, if you like. And it doesn't matter at all what I believe in and what I don't believe in. What matters is, what do you believe in, and does it work for you? Alex says, have a wonderful morning, Yogi. May everyone in the chat have a lovely day too. You too, my friend. Thank you, Ali. Skeeter, it's nice to see you. Coca says, I think I took a nap yesterday. How long did you take a nap for? They recommend, I think the longest would be 90 minutes, but that's pretty long, and that's only if you're really lacking sleep. Generally, it's recommended about 30 minutes, tops, maybe 40 minutes, because you don't want to mess with your circadian rhythm. Think of it sort of like topping off. If you're topping off your gas tank, once it's full, if you keep pouring it in, it just overflows. You really got to protect that circadian rhythm. You really got to protect your sleep hygiene habits. Kayak was awesome for my first time. Hey, is this an open deck kayak? Hey, Flora. Flora says, how is the day, everyone? The day is good so far. I've been up for a little over 3 hours. I'm going to get out and get ready to take my walk in just a few minutes. Thank you, Praveen. This jacket actually wasn't mine, but it is now. I didn't steal it. Someone left it, but they lived out of state. They came into state to do a race with me, and we went to the race. They left it in my car, and they said, "Dad, just go ahead and keep it." Hey, Jacob. Jacob, you're up early too, my friend. Jacob's been putting in some big work in the gym. Pull-ups, lots of weighted lunges, and he's doing it all with his vest. Jacob, I wonder where you are in watch hours. I know being monetized isn't a priority. Your priority is to motivate and to help, to inspire. I wouldn't mind seeing you monetize, though. I wouldn't mind seeing you sit in kayak. Gotcha. I had years and years ago in my 20s. I had thank you, Skeeter. We got some jewels. Much appreciated, my friend. I had a closed deck kayak where you had to master the Eskimo roll, which I never mastered. I did master the I better bail out technique, which means then I had to swim after my kayak that was always going downriver. Let's see. She Cook says, Flora, I'm glad you're still going on with your channel. I am a proud member of Flora's channel. Not just a subscriber, but a member. I highly recommend it. A little bit that we can give goes a long way for so many people. Something to consider, guys. Giving just a little bit goes a very long way with so many other people. That goes from maybe monetary giving to just a kind word. Just saying something nice to someone. Man, tell you what, I have been lifted up by some kind words when I most needed it, and I carry a deep, deep place in my heart for those who just want others to suffer just a little less, you know? Again, that's what I wrote about this morning. And it's those great words, be kind to everyone, for everyone is fighting a hard battle that we know not of. Everyone. Muhammad, my friend, how are you? Flora says, thank you, Yogi, for being a member. I'm a happy member, and I hope everyone reaches out and becomes a member. It's a true, true gift. I have a vision of one day having 1,000 members on my channel. That means 1,000 members means I could show up. You know, I got 8,000 subs. 863. I think. So percentage-wise, that's not a whole lot. But imagine, 1,000 members, I could show up every day and just do this. The question you're probably asking is, why do we want you to just do this? I don't know. I got nothing else to do. It beats me from showing up on your doorstep with a pamphlet, a newsletter, which I'm not going to do. Let's see. Colby says, Jacob says, I went to bed early last night. Feeling good. Do you sleep good, Miss Yogi, my brother? I did. I have made sleep a priority. It's the first thing I think about when I wake up. Honestly. Not like, man, I can't wait to go back to bed. The things I do when I open my eyes are the things that prepare me to go to sleep at night. Beginning with my thoughts of gratefulness, and then I surrender. I literally say, whatever symbol in the mind, it could be Jesus, it could be the Holy Spirit, it could be the Tao, I will make no decisions on my own today. What would you have me do? Where would you have me go? What would you have me say and to whom? Then I do my breath of fire. Breath of fire is important. It's the wake up breath. This is what happens is your body begins to produce the cortisol, the adrenaline, the norepinephrine, which is like an internal cup of coffee. It wakes you up, produces the hormones. Same with getting first sunlight in your eyes, which I'm about to do in a little bit. Because those hormones begin to die off through the course of the day, naturally. The raw material left over, your body uses to produce melatonin and serotonin, which allow you to get to sleep that night. So, from that early stage of fight or flight, just very early, that sympathetic nervous state, you want it to happen. Stress is a good thing. Learning to manage stress is key. We all need a little bit of stress. Everything grows from stress. Continents, mountains, trees. A seed bursts open through the stress and becomes a tree or a flower. The flower bud from the stress bursts open and offers itself in a bloom. I wanted to read something from Long John. There it is. Ego is always trying to harm you. Many of times people carry protection for the ego, and you are likely to use that protection to protect that ego. You are absolutely right, 100%. I did a class with Tim. Man, I can't remember his last name. He did. He was the target focus training. Tim Larkin, and he would teach the special forces, Navy SEALs and Rangers, Green Beret, specific fighting techniques, target focus training. Also civilians and law enforcement officers. And he talks about the difference between social violence and asocial violence, and when the two can clash, where we think we're approaching someone in social violence, puffing our chest out, my ego is bigger than your ego, and it turns to asocial violence like that, and life's a loss because of sheer foolishness of not recognizing the ego at play. I feel threatened. What is it that feels threatened? Are you truly threatened? Could you walk away? Should you have gone down that street anyway? Man, an ounce of prevention. Well, thank you, Praveen. I don't know if I should be seen on a huge TV. I think I'm better suited for the small screen. Hey, Buddha. Good morning, Yogi and everyone. Nice to see you, Buddha. Trending live TV raid. Awesome. Much appreciated. Great way to spend my last couple minutes. The sun is coming up, I think less than an hour. I want to be out walking to get that very first light. Jacob says, good morning, Sister Buddha. Anna says, good morning to Buddha. Big hug and love for you all. Big love to you and your mother, Muhammad. Please tell your mom. I said, please tell your whole family I said hi. And then I'm sending my love. Muhammad says, I miss you all. My friends, God bless you. Bless you too. Velka says, forgive. New beginnings abound with love. Absolutely, my friend. Anna says, I still feel anger at the woman manager who fired me on Friday, Yogi. That's okay. It's okay. Whenever we start thinking about forgiveness, whenever we think about kindness, we start to judge ourselves. I shouldn't feel anger for this person. It's okay to feel what you feel. And then when you recognize it and you start looking at it, you start realizing, you know what? I'd rather feel something different because I don't want that affecting my peace of mind. I don't want what someone else did to affect my peace of mind. I don't want what I have experienced in the past. Remember, Gerald Jambelski wrote a book called Love is Letting Go of Fear. A wonderful saying, forgiveness is giving up all hopes of a better past. You will never have a better past. And when we realize that, now we have a better present moment. Because the present moment is all that you have. If you knew, If you knew 100% that your very next job was going to give you everything you've ever wanted, for your very next job, you're going to make more money, have more free time, be more at ease, have a greater sense of peace of mind, surrounded by coworkers that you absolutely love, with a manager who supported you 100%. How would you feel about that manager who fired you and gave you that opportunity? But because we don't know the future, but we view the past, we drag it along in this present moment. In this future, in this present moment, you can actually be thankful for what happened, because now the door is wide open for whatever's going to come next. And when we're steeped in the love that the present moment offers, but only when we're steeped in that love, can now we extend that love towards the future and attract that which we truly need. Hey Kayla, how are you, my friend? Appreciate you being here. Anna says, thank you so much, Yogi. Thank you, Anna. Our good friend. Thank you, Praveen. All right, let's start wrapping things up. I think I'm probably gonna live stream my workout today. I have kettlebell jerks, then a rest period, and then kettlebell snatches. I might do some kettlebell presses too. Fleet says, bye-bye, sir. Goodbye, my friend. All right. Thank you, Long John. Flora says, amen. Amen to you, my friend. And it says, maybe it's a blessing in disguise. It is. It is. It's not even in disguise. Thank you, She Cooks. I appreciate that, my friend. We get some more jewels. I love those floating hearts. Hey, Toy Pups. Hey, Carl. Carl says, you'll be the manager, Anna. Thank you for that, Carl. Just says, sending prayers, love, for a wonderful day. Jess, thank you so much, my friend. Jess, I really appreciate your support. I had the opportunity to tell you how much I truly appreciate you. Our friend Jess, is just a wonderful person, guys. Tip Up says, I woke up with so much anxiety, but I'll be okay. Let's talk in a little bit. Toy Pups. Toy Pup says, so much love in this room. Absolutely. Toy Pup says, she cooks and roasts. Carl says, I'm a long way to be monetized. Carl, is that a goal for you? Because we'll help as much as we can. We'll start putting up your playlist. She roast says, she cooks, she roast says, hey friend to Toy Pups. So much love. Yes. Hey guys, we are a couple of things that we're working with. Kat is getting closer and closer to the 4K that she needs. Brian Lane is very close to getting 3K. Sissy, it's getting closer. We can get Sissy to 3K, I think, before Easter, before the equinox. I think we can do it. What's the Matter says, everyone double tapping the screen to see if you're the winner of today's big prize. Everyone double tapping the screen to see if the winner of today's big prize. Big prize is just making me happy, guys, and making yourselves happy. She Cook says, be brave, friend, you rock. Thank you. All right, let's see what the morning holds. I'm going to walk out to the beaver pond. Yesterday I saw 2 foxes, but it was still just too dark to get them on camera, although I tried. I heard an owl, but I couldn't locate it. Did not see my beavers. I did see, what did I see? I saw some geese. Always fun to see. I heard 2 woodpeckers, but didn't see it. I saw a deer. Thank you, Mohammed. Again, big love to you and your family. Carl says, and everyone a prize? Maybe we are the prize. Just being alive, existing. Everything had to happen. The universe is a big prize. Everything had to happen just a very specific way in order for us to even be here. Pecking wood. I heard 2 woodpeckers pecking wood. Cook says, you have beautiful nature around you. I almost live in a park. I really do. I can be at my beaver pond where I might see I'll see Canadian geese, ducks, beavers, fox, blue herons, green herons, egrets, all kinds of hawks, an osprey earlier in the year, all kinds of turtles, huge snapping turtles, smaller turtles. We got a bald eagle floating around. I believe there's a bobcat. Yep, we got bears, but they only wander through once a year or so. We live about 45 minutes to an hour from the nearest sustainable bear population. But whenever the mama bears have cubs, they kick the yearlings out, and the yearlings wander off to look for new territory. So they come through here not to stay, but just to wander through. I love when they wander through. To woodchuck chucking wood. I've often wondered how much wood a woodchuck could if a woodchuck could chuck wood. I'm surprised I was able to say that. We have coyotes. I've seen them at a park about 10 minutes away, but I haven't seen them here, but I know they're here. I've heard them. I have had neighbors who've seen them. What else? We got snakes, copperheads, water snakes. Copperheads are the only poisonous snakes. About an hour away, we do have rattlesnakes. Muhammad has to go. Cook food for your mom again. I'd love to film the bears. Usually we see them at night. No armadillos. We're a little too far north for the armadillos. I'd love if they can make their way here. Jess says, I have lots of coyotes in the backwoods. Catch the trail cams all the time. And Jess doesn't live far from me. We live in the same town. We are both Columbia, Maryland, which is just a beautiful place to be and to grow up. I love growing up in Columbia. Absolutely loved it here. Keep a sharp eye for tracks and tree breaks and tree structures in the woods. Thank you, Toy Pups. I woke up and started to scroll YouTube, and then there was a beam of light, and I could see so bright. It was a Yogi. Thank you so much for doing these live streams. You saved me so many times. Toy Pups, you and I have saved each other. Remember, I have heard of Oxon Hill, Maryland. Sissy says, good morning, Jess. What's this says, oh, I spent some time living in the boardwalk and surfing at Ocean City way back when. Down the ocean, hun, as they say in Baltimore. Going down the ocean. Carl, you get some pretty good numbers at your live stream. You get more than me. What was the last thing I was going to say? I don't remember. Yeah, what? I guess we're about 3 hours away from the ocean. I could be at Sandy Point Beach in the Chesapeake Bay in about 20 minutes. And it says, I am so grateful and thankful to be alive and to be here with all of you now. Me too, Anna. You are truly a gift to me. Well, what's the matter? It says, I got stung in the back by a man-o-war. It was unpleasant. I bet. I bet. In my very first ultra race, I was stung by ground wasp 9 times. My record is 13 in a race. I was never allergic to bees before, but as my ultra career progressed and I got stung more often, the ground wasps are the worst because they go at once and they repeatedly sting. A bee will sting you once, unfortunately, because that's the end for them. I always feel bad for bees. I don't want to get stung by a bee. I could take it, but they sting you and they're gone. But a ground wasp, they will just keep stinging and stinging and stinging, and they swarm. And it's the faster runners. They don't get stung, but they disturb the ground wasp. They disturb the nest, and that gets them all angry. So the slower runners come along, and before you know it, we're covered in wasp. This was in the first mile, and it was a long race. It ended up being about 33 miles. So I had 32 miles to go. Unknowingly, I thought it was going to be 31. My first ultra, I didn't know that it's whatever, you know. They call them Horton miles after the race director and great runner, David Horton, one of the best ever ultra runners. When he does that, when you do a Horton race, it could be any distance. He could say it's a 50-mile race. It could be 60. It could be 63. So don't go there thinking you're just going to run 50. Be in shape for whatever they throw at you. She Cook says, Carl, your place is so nice and has a nice view. Absolutely. Carl's a great live streamer. Toy Pups did an epic live stream last night. It was supposed to be a marathon, but I fell asleep, and a few hours into my live stream, I couldn't believe it. My friends in the chat kept the stream going. That's because you are loved, Toy Pups. You are loved. I know, Toy Pups. Do you know what? Toy Pups, get rid of the should. I should be feeling blessed. I should be feeling thankful. I should have patience and let God do his work, but it doesn't stop all this pain. What if we got rid of that should? Sometime today, you are going to feel blessed, and you're going to feel thankful. Sometime today, you're going to be patient. And sometimes life's going to suck completely. What if you're able to be kind to yourself for both? We don't need to say, I should do this, I should do that. Let it come to you naturally. When you're not patient, that great duality. That's what I wrote about this morning. Let me give a brief little recap. This seems to be the gift of duality, the contrast of what ego shows and my choice to see the reality of love. It's not bypassing, but a workable solution to life. Bypassing is when we feel that pain, when we're impatient, when we don't feel blessed, and then we try to make ourselves feel otherwise. Don't bypass. Feel what you feel. Recognize it. Be aware of it. And then offer to love yourself through it and ask for help to do so. Ask for help. Shift says, Toy Pups is awesome. Don't put so many shoulds. Absolutely. Absolutely, my friend. The wisdom of She Cooks and Roasts. Very wise, very loving person. Wilson says, Toy Pups, I know the pain can drag you down. It's difficult to deal with. Or realize you already are. Absolutely, Falcon. Absolutely. 36 likes. Thanks, guys. All right, I got to go. I am getting close to sunrise, close to that first light. Score Sniper is fixing the tracks. We're going to have a great talk with Sniper. Wednesday evening, the Esoteric Lounge. Sniper will open the doors, invite you all in. Sit with him, discuss, learn. Today, I think it's going to be Miss Flipper for Miracles Monday. Tomorrow, the great James Twyman, New York Times bestselling author, is going to come up, and we're going to talk about how to be at peace with yourself. We're going to talk about depolarizing our communities, our families, our mindset, politics, how to depolarize. It doesn't have to be you're Republican, I'm Democrat, or other way around, and I can't agree with anything that you say because we're opposing parties. It doesn't have to be, I can't believe you voted for this person. We can depolarize that. All right, I gotta go. See you guys. Toy Pups, I hope to talk to you a little bit, maybe when I come back from my walk and I'm drinking my tea before I do my workout. Whenever you want to make the guest appearance of Coach Toy Pups, let me know and we'll set it up for you. Love you guys.